Have I not had my mic on this whole time? I am so sorry about that. It is hysterical, though. Like, God. Professional Minecrafter right here. This better? Let me know if you hear me now. Okay, good. Glad you can hear me now. We're going to pretend that didn't happen. But it also means I get to do my intro again. So, hi everyone. Thank you for sticking with a stream in which I did not realize there was audio for the first however long it's been. But now that we're back, allow me to introduce the stream properly. Clear start. Greetings, Cyberdogs and citizens of the Interbugs. This is the Joe2997 coming at you live with another episode of a random 1.20 seed. Today we are going to be digging up an old archaeological ruin because I feel like it, and I have Wi-Fi now, so I can stream from the comfort of my own home. It is a lovely home indeed, a lovely domicile that I've just moved into. I tell you, these days there is nothing like a good home. And my Ren Dog impression is getting tired, so I'll stop now. Look, moving's been a whole pain, and I have gained some genuine comfort from watching Red's videos about his own moving recently. And if you haven't seen them, I do recommend them. Basically, Red Dog of Hermitcraft fame has been having some issues with his housing. He's since resolved them, but it's been an interesting experience to watch him figure this out. And I've enjoyed it a lot as someone currently moving myself. But now that that's behind me, I believe I do owe you a thing that Ren does. Or a thing that Ren did when he finished moving. Jingling keys. Yeah, unfortunately, one of the keys is like a key fob, so it's not actually metal. So I can't really do the proper jingling keys into the microphone. But that was my attempt at it. Anyway, where were we? Oh yes, more digging. My goal is to dig this out, but I acknowledging that it's going to take a lot of time and patience that neither I nor I assume you, Ace, have. And I say that with no judgment. Again, the problem is my patience for this. And this does seem like it would be a fun thing to do. It just takes time. I don't know if you've played 1.20 yet, but it's been a thing. What is this? You can get hanging signs. That's so cool. God. So as I was saying before I realized that I wasn't actually recording any of my audio, 1.20. It is a cool update. It is, I think Bojang has figured out how to do an update that encourages people to engage with it. And it's interesting for me because when I play Minecraft, I generally don't like exploring as much. Ooh, shaper armor. Like that's not what I go for. I go for building and redstone normally. So this update really does force me out of my comfort zone, which I appreciate. It makes this a new game experience in Minecraft, which is pretty rare. Even with everything they add, it's very easy to incorporate that into what you're already doing. Like the thing I'm thinking about, the thing I think about with this update a lot is the fact that or the fact that you do have to go out and see things. Like there's no farming archaeological ruins. You can't force spawn them unless you're loading chunks, and by loading chunks you have to explore. So even if you are insanely talented at farming in this game, you have to play something different. And that's fun. It will be fun for a while. I just find it interesting given how much of my playing style has settled into staying in one place and building up a base. Also, interesting thing about this update is it's not encouraging you to build as much with the new blocks. Like, sure, they have cherry. You can do things with cherry. You can do things with the hanging signs. But for the ruins like this, you're not you're not digging up or you're not building new digs. You are simply uncovering what's already there in the world. And it does force you to adjust what you're doing. My one complaint about it, if I had to complain about it, is like there's not as much room for creativity, but that's not the point of it. The point of it, again, is to engage with this with what's already there. Like, look at this. This is cool. This was designed by someone at Mojang, and within the lore of Minecraft, it was designed by a lost civilization. But still, cool. That's the other thing about this update also is if it does encourage creativity, it encourages it in the form of narrative. Like, what would have prompted a society like this? Oh, I did not mean to disturb the build. Sorry. Uh, um, what prompted a society like this to have what they have where they had it? Yeah, it's like I'm seeing you say in chat, you do like exploring in this game, and so yeah, this update is meant for people like you, and I'm curious what people like you think about it. Like, this update is pretty exclusively catered to a more narrow swath of Minecraft players than I'm included in. Yeah, a lot of us do. Find it's a common trait with the nerds of our generation. Like, we all like this in theory. I'm getting a call from my father. Excuse me for 1 minute. So that was my dad reminding me that Shabbat is approaching in a few hours, and that does mean I will have to attend to that. But for now, instead of observing my IRL culture, we'll be observing this fictional Minecraft culture, trying to figure out what it is. Oh crap! That's the thing about spell also is you have to remember to dig downward. Salem was actually explaining to me that this is very similar to real life archaeology, where a large portion of the work is guessing where existing things are and trying to approximate its location. Hey, cool. They'll die. And I think it's cool that they've managed to accurately capture that. I wonder what kind of research they did for it because clearly they 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 did not just come up with this pump. Like they had to talk to people and figure out how it worked. And I'm very curious. I'd love to hear from the person they consulted with on this. That'd be cool to know what they were thinking, why they thought this should work the way it works, and what they did with it. Okay, downside is we are trapped in this pit. It is night. Hang on, I can angle this out. Okay, we have to get back in the building because I don't want to miss anything. Okay, where were we? Ooh, glaze. So now we're getting to, so now we're getting deeper in the building, and the blocks shift to this glazed terracotta. Very interesting design pattern. Like, I would love, like, what are they trying to suggest with this? Like, what's the implied lore here? I like the mud blocks and how they've used them in this build. It is interesting to me, and I've noticed this in other updates, just how quickly the blocks from previous updates get incorporated into like standard builds for future builds or future steps. Because mud bricks did not exist in 1.18. Here we are in 1.20, and like they're part of this build as it's no big deal. You know, the more I think about it, the more I realize the whole appreciating other people's builds thing. Huge props to the Mojang dev team that had to design all of the ruins. Like they look cool, and think about it. Think about how much work had to go into making sure you could build something that would fit, that would look cool, look real, and work well, just drowning in concrete, or sorry, drowning in stone and gravel. Because the point of the build is to uncover it. Like you're not going to see the whole thing, and you're only going to see the whole thing when you're done. And you have to be able to sustain blocks and make it. And there are a whole bunch of design requirements that go into this kind of thing. It's fascinating to me. I'd love to hear from designers and what they were thinking and how they did this. Hope they eventually do interviews. If I didn't kind of clever to interview one of them myself. We got Relic, cool disc. Yeah, the music's fun. Starting to think I should have given myself torches. I can always go back. Hey, I broke my own rule and dug out of it before I was ready. Yeah, my goal is still to is to uncover an entire level before I dig down further. It'd also be great to have my mods in, but 1.20 mods, I give them time. And the whole Curse Forge thing, which is depressing. Let's get torches. Oh yeah, I forgot they had torch flowers. I have not seen this never yet in game. I don't particularly feel attached to it or excited about it. I was a big fan of Copper Golems. Was that the cycle, or did the Copper Golem lose to the ally? I forget which mob is which. What was the Sniffer up against? I know whatever the Sniffer was up against, I was really excited about, and I don't remember what it was this time. Like, there's always a mob I'd much rather have from the mob vote. Remember, I miss the Copper Golem. I miss what was it? What was up against Glow Squid? Ugh. The only one I really remember is Copper Golem. But you get my point. Why can't I remember the losers in the mob votes? Slightly embarrassing. Yeah, whatever. Hey, we're doing good on stuff though. Okay, how are we doing this? Right, gotta dig out around the base more. Yeah, if you want to Google the mobs, I would love to be reminded what they were because there were some good ones in there. Okay, good to know it curves back up, which means this whole digging a level thing is not the best solution. All right, you're calling it an autism dinosaur doggy thing. I can't speak to the autism, but cool, I guess. Oh, I keep breaking this. It's bad. I don't want to damage my precious builds. Oh, wait, it was the tough golem. That's what it was. I always want more golems. Yeah, I love golems. Wish you could do more with them. Tough golem, that was... No, the copper golem pressed buttons. The tough golem... That one place blocks? What was tough golem's gimmick? I remember it had one. It was really cool. I was a big fan of it, personally. And what did the tough golem do? That's... Questions to ask historians. Oh right, yeah, they could carry blocks. That's what it was. Yeah. Thanks, Ace. Appreciate it. Yeah, tough golems, man. Tough golems. I think we could use more golems. Like again, my thing about liking player creativity in the world, like more mobs that the player can be responsible for are cool to me. Like it's very much you taking it into your hands and you having more power over the world, which I like in Minecraft. And that's very much the opposite of this update. So I guess it's for the best that it's not in this update. Like this update is very much about you are a person in this world that's already here. You do not get to make this world. Robbie, hello. Welcome to the chat. So glad to have you here today. We are playing Minecraft 1.20. I am playing in my new house. I have just set up my Wi-Fi, and the first thing I decided to do, instead of unpacking things or plugging in a fridge or anything else important, is play Minecraft for an audience. I am kidding. I have unpacked a significant amount of stuff. I am not completely neglecting my duties. Um, I am, however, prioritizing the stream because I feel like it, and I have Wi-Fi back, and archaeology is cool. So I was talking to Ace about this before you got here, Ravi, but it's interesting to me. This update, it's designed for people who like exploring in Minecraft, and personally, I much prefer building. I much prefer to have a place that I already live and work there and work on it. But I'm curious, like, if is that your play style? Like, is this update the kind of thing that appeals to you? No. Story building and normal building for worlds is your style. So yeah, this update is an interesting challenge to that because it's very much about other people's stories and builds. You know what? No, this world exists entirely for me to have fun. We're gonna do that. We're gonna go that way. That's how we're gonna do this. Is no, you do not get to ruin my day. However, while I'm here, I could probably afford to use. You destroyed my crafting table. God, freepers. Friggity frag. Floop. While I'm here, probably get to craft up some ladders. Okay, we now have ladders. So yeah, that's part of the reason that I prefer to make my own space where I don't have to worry about things like that. But again, this update not about that. It's about forcing you back into the world of Minecraft. And I do appreciate that. I do appreciate what they're going for. I think it's cool. I'll drop off some more stuff while I'm here. Yeah, the new signs are good. The new signs are great for builds, and I'm excited to use them. Just yeah, I don't know if I'm making my point clear that I do like this. I'm just fascinated by the fact that this update is not for my playstyle. I'm also lamenting the tough golem, which I realized while lamenting I forgot exactly what it was supposed to do in this game. Yeah, I mean, again, it's cool and fun, and more power to you. And I'm glad you're going to enjoy it. Like, I'm doing this right now. I'm having a blast. I am having an absolute blast digging this out. I'm excited to see what it looks like when it's done. That's the other thing is you're working towards a finished product. Did I just break some gravel? I should have broken with a brush first, probably. Yeah, we're trying here. We're doing our best. But yeah, massive props to everyone who did this. This is cool. This is cool and fun. Downside to having find myself efficiency everything. Wait, I missed a lot of chat. Sorry. You could build a dig set around it. Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could definitely build a dig set around it, and it'd be interesting to see what you included yourself, like how much you tried to incorporate the existing build into your dig set, or if you were just building a base camp over it. Either way, it would look cool. It's a question of like, what can you do that's inspired by the build, and what can you renovate with? Oh, that's what you do. You renovate. Never mind. Yeah, but you have to have decent gear to start digging. So you can't really make this your starter base, but you can move here. Also, interestingly, realizing now as we talk about this, that I was realizing now that does it's another thing this update's good for is getting people to dig at levels other than the bottom of the world. Because normally when I mine for efficiency, I like going to the bottom of the world and just digging long tunnels. This update again encourages you to dig in the middle, like getting a lot digging a lot more above Y0 than I normally would. I think it's cool. This is a good update to Minecraft. Okay. So let's see. All right, so this is our base level. So now we're going to go and make sure everything is at that base level. Hang on, what is this? What are we dealing with? Ooh, another purple candle. So that's another thing I heard someone say. I don't remember who. Um, that is, another thing you can do is you can sort of look at the shape of the place from what items they have and what is readily available. So like this, whoever lived here had access to purple candles, but did not build in purple. So what does that say about them? Oh, you screeched when the sniffer was announced? Sniffer fan? Okay. Did you go outside and shriek and then someone called the cops because it was midnight and then the cops said they announced the mob vote and then you showed them and then you and the cop were reading it together? So I make references to things like the Homestuck Updated post, and then I remember that I am no longer the youngest internet generation, and I wonder if people have any idea what I'm talking about. Like that joke I just made about it updated and the cop coming to talk to you about it. Like, did that make sense to anyone? Okay, good, good. I'm glad Ace gets what I'm talking about, and I like that I see the message in chat after I go on a lengthy rant about how I'm probably making a reference nobody gets anymore because y'all are young ones. Good. I'm glad Ace knows what I'm talking about. Ravi does not, so I'm gonna have to explain the Homestuck cop. So, back in my day, there was a comic called Homestuck. I never read it personally, but it was big on the internet. Anyway, there's a joke on Tumblr back then. There was a popular fake story somebody wrote where Homestuck updated. Um, so Homestuck is famous for having a very irregular update schedule, and so it was big on Tumblr. So one of the things on Tumblr somebody did was when it updated, they made the joke that a Homestuck or that they said they saw Homestuck update. And they went outside and started screaming, and it was midnight. So somebody called the cops on them, and then the cops showed up, and then the cop found out that Homestuck had updated. So the two of them were reading it together. I have never read Homestuck, and to the best of my knowledge, this is a completely fake story. And I'm told by people who were around at that time that the person who posted it was kind of expecting people to believe them, but that's a thing. We get Heart Pottery Shard. Okay. Look, I did not read Homestuck, and I was not active on Tumblr at the time. So I could be getting details wrong. I could be misremembering. Hey, Wood and Ho. That's fun. Yeah, I was not particularly active in fandom and the internet at that time, so I could be getting details wrong. I'm the wrong person to ask for Homestuck history lessons. Yeah. Sarah Zed has a great video. If you want it, there's I'm getting a lot of my like Tumblr lore and history knowledge comes from people who are doing active like historical research on it. So Sarah Zed has a great video on Homestuck and the story of that fandom, and it is fascinating to me, someone who has again not really read Homestuck. Yeah. I saw so I knew about the Homestuck cop thing from first the Sarah Zed video where they went into the history of Homestuck generally, but also during the Tumblr Sexy Man bracket that changed the universe. There was a thing. There was a post going around. Somebody did a parody of it about the Sexy Man bracket posting. There was one somebody said, oh my god, I saw the Sexy Man poll go live, and so I went outside and started screaming, and somebody called the cops, and the cop said, oh my god, and the cop asked what was wrong, and I said the bracket went live, and they said the bracket's up, and then we sat there doing the bracket together. So yeah, people have done parodies of it. extensively. It is an important piece of Tumblr lore. But yeah, one of my bigger childhood regrets is that I did not have a Tumblr until well into high school. Like I was not around for that part of internet history. And I do regret it. It does mean that I've had to learn a lot of it secondhand or like an anthropologist. And I think it's been an interesting perspective, like being able to study it as an adult, like, oh, this is what I would have been doing if I were chronically online in 2014. But I didn't. I have to learn about it secondhand. Yeah, it is mostly my fault though. So like I've never been a fast adopter of social media platforms. I still don't have a TikTok. I have no intention of getting one. It's I like watching other people get excited about it more than I like doing it myself. That's part of the reason I like the Minecraft MCYT fandom because y'all are great at this. Y'all are great at art and like getting excited about this thing. And I know I keep saying it, but I do like as a semi outsider. And yeah, I see chat. I see Ravi. Yeah, Salem won. It was pretty bad. You should have been there for me. I got like 6% of the vote when all was said and done in the MCNN bracket. Salem only won because their partner has like 25,000 followers and retumbled it. But yeah, as a semi outsider in like internet spaces, it is fascinating to me what people do and how it works. And like I've I've been around now a couple of years, so like I've seen some changes in the culture, and watching people sort of learn in real time, watching the culture develop is so cool. Like I am not a professional anthropologist. I do not study anthropology. I am a political scientist by training. It is what I do when I'm not playing Minecraft. It's similar, but it's much more about examining the present than about examining the past. But it is fascinating to watch. You joined Tumblr officially in October because I you only browsed for Fire Emblem comics with no account. Yeah, I was pretty similar to you then. I was like did not have an account. My parents didn't really want me on social media that much. Probably for the best, honestly. I would have been a monster if I were on 2014 Tumblr. But yeah, if you want to learn about that era of internet history, Ravi, which I'm realizing now that it's not even your generation anymore. Ugh, God, I do feel old. But if you want to learn about it, I recommend Sarah Zed's YouTube channel very heavily for all the stuff on what Tumblr was like 9, 10 years ago. Like the world makes a lot more sense when you understand what they were doing back then. And like the course of the past 10 years of human history. I believe I mentioned last time that I am writing a thesis, and part of my thesis is examining specifically cultural trends of the last 10 years. My project's geared towards Jews and Jewish voting habits because I am Jewish, and that is a thing I'm interested in. But very much like we have a very interesting arc of history unfolding, and it'd be cool to catalog more of it. I have a lot of respect for a lot of the other people in the MCNN space who are better archivists than I am. You met Pixie like 4 or 5 days after you joined Tumblr. Got it. So yeah, you are very new and you do not know the history and the culture that came before. So again, what I did with that is I sort of like I took it scientifically. Like I am studying this culture. But yeah, but yeah, with my thesis coming up on that, I'm thinking a lot about the history of the 2010s, which is a very scary thing to say out loud because I lived through that and it didn't feel like history when it was happening most of the time. It just felt like now. All right. So what else? Thanks. Thanks, Ace. I am very excited to do it, honestly. Looking I've just started thinking about how I want to approach researching this. And I've learned a lot actually in the past few weeks about how people store voting records. Like this is not the broad topic of history happening, but like this is a specific new pet peeve of mine that I've gotten from my research is like people nobody agrees on how they store election results. Like everyone has a PDF, but it's in a different form. Some people have spreadsheets, not even PDFs, but like no one agrees on standardizing this stuff. We are so bad at standardizing how we store this stuff, and it is a nightmare to comb through. I've been trying to code um I've been trying to code for work also, like trying to code also a program that reads in all these different ballot types, and because no one can agree on it, it is a freaking nightmare. Like I've been working on this nonstop for the past 2 weeks, and I've only been able to get like 10 different counties from earlier this year to work with this format. And then if someone changes it, then you're entirely out of luck and you're screwed. It's really bad. But yeah, pet peeve that is just completely niche in me is people are terrible about standardizing their election result reports. It's like they don't want some kid hundreds of miles away combing through them. On the plus side, I cannot tell you basically anything about Wisconsin elections, but that's a different story. I'm doing Wisconsin for a thing at work, not for my project. I don't know if there are a lot of Jews in Wisconsin yet. I'm thinking I'll figure that out better off. I'll have a better sense of where I'm looking for information after I start looking through census reports, but I haven't done that yet. Still got like a year to think about this stuff. It's fine. We're fine. We need to fight election organizers. Like these people are just doing their jobs. Like they are. I've talked to a lot of them for work also, um, and they are often very nice people. Like this is not a full-time job. They organize like one or two elections a year, and then the rest of the time they go do something else, and they're quite nice about it. And a lot of them are funny and good-natured. One of them, actually, this is funny. One of them actually looked me up one time when I was basically there was the reason I'm so focused on Wisconsin is because the place I'm working with lately, we've been trying to, or sorry, let me back up. So the place I'm working with recently, is one of the groups that tries to call elections on election night, and a lot of that work, a lot of the way we do that is find is getting turnout results from different places across states and organizing that information. So, like for example, if there was an election in Texas right now, what I would do is I would call up a bunch of counties in Texas and um, ask them, hey, how is it looking on your end? How many people have you had vote? And if, for example, all the major cities in Texas had already had everyone we expected to have them vote, let's say you're doing Austin and like everyone else has already voted, then you're not going to get a lot more Democratic votes out of Texas. So it's safe to say if you have a lot more Republican votes waiting, then the state's probably going to vote for the Republican. So that's generally how it works. So the problem with that is, um, in most states, that's done by the county. So like, I can just call, I don't know the county that Austin's in, but I can just call one person and get all the results for the area. The problem is in states like Wisconsin and a few others, a lot of them they don't get that information on the county level, or it's down to every single town. And for some of the places like Wisconsin, there are 1,900 towns. So part of what I'm doing is trying to figure out how to get information from states like that more quickly. I'm sorry, if I was too fast or or didn't explain it well, let me know. But basically, in states like Wisconsin, if you want to guess who's winning an election, you have to do a lot more legwork. So my job is figuring out how to do that quicker and with less work. So we were testing it a few months ago because they had a Supreme Court election. I don't know if you know about this, but I was testing out some stuff, and so part of my job was to just send out emails all day to every single election official in the entire state of Wisconsin. Well, not every. We had like a sample of 200, which is still a lot. Like I sent probably a good 1,000 emails that day because we had to check in every couple hours. But point is, one of them. So most of these people are nice and like they just give me the numbers and move on. And some of them don't get back to me, but when they do later, they apologize that they were really busy because they were driving around town checking every polling place. And so it's a busy day for these people because again, they're all managing thousands of people trying to vote on the same day. Um, it's a demanding job. So this one guy doesn't get back to me until a couple hours later, emails me a YouTube link and says, "Is this you?" He found an old YouTube video I did in high school. It's not on this channel. It's not anything I did as Jojo. But point is, when every other person in his job in the entire state is running around like headless chickens because it is the busiest day of the year for them, this guy is sitting around YouTube trying to figure out who this random guy emailing him is, which I think is funny. And it did make me go back and make sure I only had certain stuff showing when you look up me up IRL and just generally clean up my internet presence, but still, I cannot believe that this guy took the time to do that. He didn't even give me the numbers in the email. He didn't give me the numbers in that email. I had to push back and say, "Yeah, that's me. I did it in high school." Anyway, what are the anyway? Who voted? And then he gets back to me, but I had to push for it. It was funny. I will admit it was funny. Yes, my soul did leave my body for a bit. That was a frightening experience. I believe people call it the horrifying ordeal of being known. So yeah, that happened. What else happened that day? Because that day it was a very long day, but it was a very fun day. Let's see. Oh yeah, we got an email. We got one of the emails we got back was from this woman, just all caps. There is a massive snowstorm going on right now, but she still sent us the election results, which I guess good that she was doing her job. Anyway, that was a very fun day, and I'd love to do that again at some point. I don't think I'll have the opportunity because I do it through school, and I'm graduating before the 2024 elections. So unfortunately, that was the only one I'll be able to like be there for and doing it in that intensity. Unless I get a job for like NBC or something, which it could happen. Which could happen. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe well, I don't know if they take Minecrafters. Yeah. Poor woman. Other good one. My boss got yelled at for being fake news. That was part of the day. That was fun. We all had a good laugh about that one later. Yeah, Ace, you kind of invented the lore that I got possessed. Um, I like it, and I'm not gonna fight you on it. You have your own lore. I think that's how this works. You get your own lore. What I was going for was there was a Quinn Hills concert that I wanted to attend, so I ditched. But that was I do I really like the animatic you made, and I'm going to let you headcanon that because it is so just amazingly fun. Like Robbie, I don't know if you've seen Ace's animatic of me getting possessed by Viking Pilot, but like, damn, he makes possession look cool. It's one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things to come out of this whole MCN experience. Like seriously, the idea of this Minecraft art that I know I say it a lot, but I have so much respect for it. Like y'all are so talented. Like even that being a fraction of that being applied to me is just one of the best things that could come out of this. And now you're reminding me of Pixie's outtake of me screwing up the golden apple toss. Okay, that one, yeah. So what happened there on the apple toss is we have that shot at the end of the last MCNN episode where we're all cooking, or where we're all hanging, where all the anchors are hanging out on a beach on the Coral Isles, and I was trying to mix drinks, and so I threw up a few things I thought would fit in drinks, and I screwed up the take, and it went over the edge, and we didn't want to reshoot it. Turns out I'm not that good at throwing things in Minecraft. Oh, if I get another entire tower, yeah, I think I've found another tower. No, it's not. It's the same thing. You should make memes of it, honestly. It is funny as hell. It is funny. It is so. It's a really human touch, and like, it's a blooper that I wouldn't have expected to find in Minecraft. Oh god, sorry, I'm burping a lot. It's a blooper that I wouldn't have expected in Minecraft, but it happened, and we're better off for it, I think. I think you find hanging signs in the dirt. That's fun. Wasn't expecting that. Um, yeah. Glad you didn't notice it, Ace, honestly. It kind of takes it for fun if everyone sees it. But yeah, if you're one of the people who caught it, it's enjoyable. Let's enjoy the laughs. That whole project was a blast, and I'm excited to do it again whenever the Life series comes back. Wait, no, the Golden Apple being the MC9 crew and me being the limited life cast stopping them. Isn't that kind of the opposite? Because like I missed, the apple got away from me, and we were trapped by the project for the whole 8 weeks. So I think it therefore goes the opposite way. Oh no, no, Lyric, right? Lyric had no legs. That was a thing also from that scene. I believe it's still in there if you look, but the boat, um, basically for whatever reason in the replay mod footage, when Lyric is riding the boat approaching the Coral Isles, for whatever reason their character does not project legs. You know, me too actually. Me too, Ace. I did tear up a little bit seeing it, and even though I was in it and I saw it, like I saw every step of it being forced and crammed into existence. I still, yeah, I teared up a bit. Hitting, I teared up a bit when we got out of there. Like I've never liked watching stuff with me in it before, but like that was just it was really it came out together great. And Ace, I don't remember if you were there. I don't remember if you were in it. Were you in the end credits bit where we had all the rest of the cast? I feel like we filmed that part together, but I can't remember what you were doing. Ravi, if someone made MCN can with a fic, I would lose my freaking mind. Like, you've no idea. If that happened, I think my reality would just completely implode on itself. Oh yeah, you were with Cat. You were with Cat in their beat ups office, which is one of my favorite set builds, by the way. It was yeah. Oh yeah, you were with Cat. Wait, I remember. I shot the footage by circling around the room in replay mod. It's my first times using replay mod, and I was not good at it back then. But it was a lot of fun to film. Oh, that was a good one. Yeah. If someone put MCNN in a fic, God, like that'd feel way too real. Oh yeah, yeah, Robbie, as a Pixie Mage regular, you definitely saw some things. Um, love Pixie dearly. Can't wait for her to be around get more often again after this con stuff. Yeah. So you're a Pixie Mage main, which is I don't know, which is cool. Glad she has mains. I'm glad that you enjoy it. Robbie, if you did this, if you wrote us into a fic, God, I don't even know. God. Yes, you do. I respect it, honestly. I respect I do respect you being part of that community, and it's amazing to me that you're there. This a bathhouse? Maybe just dig out a bathhouse. We're not even done. We've just dug out. Look at how much we've dug out. Like This is a massive build. Yeah, so cool. I love this update. Yeah. We're not even remotely close to done, and look how much there is. Oh my God. I'm smiling, just like partially speechless. This is so cool. Like, look at this. This is something else. God, this is a great update. I highly recommend doing this for yourself. It is a very rewarding experience to see it come together. Like, I'm genuinely proud of this, and I didn't even build it. Like, all I did was dig out something that was already there. God, this is so cool. Unfortunately, let me check how long I've been going. Yeah, unfortunately, I think this means I do have to go. Maybe I'll pick this up on a stream next week. Actually, I'm really enjoying the building. Um, yeah, I do have to go. Call my dad. Ravi may have missed my dad called earlier, and I had to tell him I was on stream awkwardly. It was a whole thing. I'm gonna go take care of that. But it has been an absolute pleasure streaming. This has been a lot of fun. Great having you here. Somehow we got into some interesting conversations about things I wasn't expecting to talk about on stream, but you know what? We go with that. So, let's hit it off one more time. Check out this armor. Love it. This is by far one of the coolest things. Like, look at the way it blends. Um, anyway, this has been fun. I have been Joju997, and I was doing a Ren Dog impression earlier. So let me say, I'll catch you all. No, wait, that's not Ren. I don't know how to do a Ren outro. Whatever. Bye.